Okay, so this is really middle of a class, but it doesn't matter. We didn't start the Sikha yet. We're just reading here the Avudraham, so a little background on him. So he said in his Akdama, why are women women are exempt, as we know, from mitzvat aseh shazman grama, a positive mitzvah that is time bound. Why? Because we would be busy davening and neglecting our children. Our main thing is our children, our family, our homes. Women are, it's very hard to give us time-bound positive mitzvahs. And that's why we're exempt, because we really have another job, which is to be free, to be able to take care of our house, home, and families. So the Avudraham in his introduction says, so why aren't girls, why isn't it mandatory for girls till they get married to keep all the positive mitzvahs that are time bound? So he answers, because women will not want to get married. Because if by getting married, you have to drop mitzvot, you're not going to want to get married. So I remember I was a girl reading this and I was thinking, wow, this is really something major, what he was saying. Anyway, okay, this is just a little personal thing. Okay, so how the Avudraham takes the piyut, I'm calling it, of Dayenu, and he explains it in depth. So let's now go to what does he say about that line, that if Hashem didn't bring us to, just brought us to Sinai, here to Mount Sinai, if he brought us closer to Mount Sinai and didn't give us the Torah, it would be enough. So he explains, he brought us close to Mount Sinai to show us his honor. In Har Sinai, we saw, but if he wouldn't have given us the Torah, it would have been enough, okay? And he also adds, and he hadn't given us the Torah, also it would have been enough. Dayenu means enough. He said we would have gotten the 10 Commandments through Moshe, or we would have gotten the mitzvahs slowly. We wouldn't have had to have, that whole tekes of getting the Torah. Others explain, the Avudraham brings others explain that by Har Sinai, let's read it inside. Others explain, had he brought us close before Har Sinai and not giving us the Torah, Dayenu, it would have been enough, refers to the removal of the spiritual impurity. The sages say that the spiritual impurity befell Eve when she engaged with the serpent. Those who stood at Har Sinai were purified, while all the other nations were not present at Har Sinai. So he says, yes, it's enough. The bringing the Har Sinai was when we were in Har Sinai, we were cleansed from the tumah, the impurification, and the impurity, the spiritual impurity that came down to the world, that was in the world since Chet Etz Hadas, since the Garden of Eden, since Gan Eden with the sin of Chava, till Har Sinai. And when we came to Har Sinai, it was removed. So, even if we didn't get the Torah, we got something, so that's enough. The Rebbe, I'm not going into the rest here. Oh, please don't get stuck. Oh, computer is stuck. Second, come back on, please. Let me start again and start sharing again. With everything else, I'm also having problems with the computer. Okay. Okay, start again. Come on, be good. Okay. So let's go to the next page. I'm really sorry. My computer is like really misbehaving. So the Rebbe asks questions on this. Okay. All right. And then the Rebbe asks, why is it in the negative form? And why does it have to be written the way it's written? It could have been written like the next verse in the Haggadah. If you remember, after we sing Ilu Ilu Hatziyanu and Dayenu, we have this paragraph that says all the favors Hashem did in an order, without comparison. If he brought us, it would have been Dayenu. If he did this and didn't do this, it would have been enough. And if he did, there's no negativity. It just brings here, look at the paragraph. It's a beautiful paragraph saying, how much more so? Alachat kama v'kama, so much more so, multiplied and compounded good deeds and many more good deeds. And he lists here all the things that we said in Dayenu. He took us out of Egypt, carried out judgments against them, punished their gods, slew their firstborn, gave us their wealth, split the sea for us, led us through the dry land, drowned our enemies, provided our needs for 40 years, fed us the man, gave us the Shabbos, brought us close to Har Sinai, gave us the Torah, brought us to Eretz Yisrael, and built for us the Beis Hamikdash. So what did we need the whole Dayenu? Oh, gosh. All right. So let me try it this way. So the Rebbe says, everything line here, everything, every idea in the Torah represents a reality that is eternal. That's why I'm saying it's very pertinent to us today, because it's eternal. Since the Torah mentions the time and the state of he brought us close before Har Sinai, before he gave us the Torah, that means that even after the Torah was given, the verse, the part that says he brought us close to Har Sinai, also exists at this time. That means this verse, he brought us close to Mount Sinai, is very important and exists still today, and it comes before and is maybe even more important than the verse that follows, he gave us the Torah. Because what does the verse say? If he brought us to Mount Sinai, he brought us close to Mount Sinai, and if he wouldn't have given us the Torah, Dayenu, that would have been enough. That means it's something so high and powerful that Dayenu, it's enough even if he wouldn't have given us the Torah. And it exists even to today, because like he says, it exists in an eternal way. I'm afraid to touch my computer because it's so sensitive. Okay, and the Rebbe says this idea is emphasized in the words of the Haggadah. Had he brought us close before Mount Sinai and not given us the Torah, it would have been enough for us. What does that mean? And the Rebbe continues, if we would say only how many good favors God had bestowed upon us, he brought us close before Matan Torah, before Har Sinai, and gave us the Torah, it would mean that these two things are one thing. That these two matters occur together, are one thing. But this wording would not emphasize that even today, the concept, the Rebbe is talking here about the concept of bringing us to Har Sinai. And here in this Dayenu song, it seems that the coming close to Har Sinai stands independently as it is a distinct matter for itself. Okay? This teaches us that bringing us close before Har Sinai, it is itself something for which we thank Hashem, and thanks has to be given. Thanks has to be given to bringing us to Har Sinai. So, the Rebbe is saying from this, it is clear, do you see where I am? I'm right here. That even after God gave us the Torah, the state and the concept of bringing us close before Mount Har Sinai continues to exist, since every idea in Torah is eternal. So we have to understand what is this idea and the concept of bringing us close to Mount Sinai. That is a line in itself, and we say that's enough, and it exists for today. And the Rebbe brings something else. We are, and this is where I feel it's also very much with us today. We are in a time of hatred. The Rebbe is talking about different type of hatred to worldly things, but we are, Baruch Hashem, blessed to be in a time in the world that there's a lot of external material, shefa, an abundance. You know, whoever's bringing up children or helping bringing up grandchildren, the challenges of the external abundance, pulling and schlepping and being involved in the world, whether it's just on your phone in the media or at work. You know, we're not living shtetl life and just, you know, Baruch Hashem, the men go to shul from shul and this and that, but we're also involved in a lot of things. And here the Rebbe is saying, where did that start? That start. And this actually, the Jews in the desert didn't have it to a certain extent because they were separated from the world. They didn't have to do business. The man came down and everything, you know, they were able to be in the spiritual world, but Hashem was preparing us. The Torah is to prepare us to work with the world. We have to work with the world. We're involved in the world, whether it's Jews, non-Jews, and a lot of physical manner. And this is what the Rebbe is going to explain here. The Rebbe says, Mount Har Sinai has several names. I'm continuing to read, such as Har Elokim, the mountain of God, which is, you know, a better suited name, Har Chorev, and more. And the Talmud asks, why is it called Har Sinai? Because Sinai, from the word Sin'ah, spelled differently, but it means the same, one of the translations, hatred. It says because the hatred of the nations of the world descended there. So this is also, you know, has to do with our times. We feel the hatred of the world. When did the hatred of the world start? By Har Sinai, when we became the chosen nation. So we have to realize they don't hate us because we're smart or because, you know, they hate us because we're the chosen nation. And it started right then by Har Sinai. Okay, but the Rebbe is taking it with a twist. Based on this, we can understand the significance of he brought us close before Har Sinai, the mountain of hatred. That even before giving of the Torah, we went through something. And the Rebbe explains, this teaches us that we should not think or try to convince ourselves that it is possible to pursue worldly desires and at the same time be a Torah scholar by studying the revealed dimensions of Torah, Pnimius and Chassidus. Rather, we must first achieve the state of brought us close before Har Sinai by developing a feeling of hatred towards materialism. The Rebbe says, in order to get to Kabbalah Satorah, we have to go through a process of being close to Har Sinai, to a, what's the word, revulsion? To hate, I hate the word hate, but to despise materialism. And then you could get the Torah. But we will discuss how far because if I think of that, if somebody would tell me, in order for you to keep Torah mitzvahs, you have to despise materialism, I will never get to keep Torah mitzvahs, right? Me, I'm talking about myself. It will take me to 120 years. And then time's up, you know, time's up. You know, it's like saying, I'll get there, I'm coming, I have the answer, and then bing, time's up, you lost your chance. So what is he saying here, that we had to first go through kirvanu lifnei har Sinai to come to that state of hatred, and then Could we do it at the same time? This is what the Rebbe is going to discuss. And what does it mean? Oops, touched it again. Okay. Let me try. Do you see it? I'm trying to. Shouldn't have touched the thing. I'm so used to touching it. Okay. Okay. Second. Come on. Okay, see if you could see it. I'm afraid to touch it to make it go bigger because every time I touch it, This is similar to the statement of the sages. You see here on the bottom, I'm afraid to touch it to make it. Where were we? Here. This is similar to the statement of the sages condemning any Torah scholar who sits before his teacher and his lips are not dripping with mar, meaning that they sits and learns, but is here, okay, but is actually doesn't have the attitude, the right attitude of learning Torah. Okay. This, I'm skipping a little bit. Let's now go into understanding what is telling us that we have to have first the sur mera, the turning away from evil in order to do good. We know that this is the first step of a good resolution. Get rid of the bad, and then you could do good. You can't have a Frigidaire full of cheesecake and say, I'm on a diet. You have to get rid of everything that's in your cupboard and the Frigidaire in order to be able to lose weight and to stick on your diet. You know, I used to go through this with my students who said they had a lot of tznius problems, and they used to say, I'm trying. I said, how are you trying if your closet is only with clothes that are not tznius? Trying means dumping all that clothes on the bench in front of the house of the school and going out and buying tznius clothes. Then we know that you're really trying. But if you didn't leave that, you can't go on to the next step, okay? This is very like sharp and like very unflexible, okay? And this is what the girls used to say, oh, Ms. Piekarski, you're not flexible. Okay, so we have to understand what is the Torah telling us. The Rebbe continues. This reflects the principle, I'm here on the second thing, I'm afraid to touch my computer, of turn away from evil and do good. He brought us close before Mount Sinai, represents turning away from evil, separating ourselves from worldly matters and not being absorbed in them. He gave us the Torah represents doing good, the study of Torah. However, and here the Rebbe goes, we cannot wait until the work of turning away from evil is fully completed and only then begin studying Torah. We must certainly study Torah even while still in the process of turning away from evil. We have to start the process and at the same time do good. But we must know that proper Torah study comes only after the prior step of turning away from evil, which is the concept of brought us closer before Matan Torah. And I want to elaborate here a little bit. I work a lot, I'm sure you know, with people to help them do change in their lives, and I work with myself a lot also. And no, let me just stop sharing for a minute. And I see one of the major steps is people understanding that we have to turn away from this. And just then getting to that point of understanding what you're doing is wrong. And in order for the next step, you have to admit it, understand it, and stop leaving those bad behaviors. At the same time, doing good things. And that's how I work with them. But, you know, many times I can't get to do the right steps because the people aren't admitting that what they're doing is wrong. It's always the other person's fault if I'm sitting with the couple. No, I'm not I'm not at fault. It's she. And therefore, when I say, you have to stop this, no, I don't, because otherwise she wouldn't. It's not me. The admitting is part of the process. The opening up the eyes is part of the process. At the same time, I used to say, you do this, but stop doing this and start giving her a compliment. So, or, if it's a woman who's, is always blaming her husband because if he was home, if he would this, if he would that, I say, you understand, stop blaming him and start doing some things. It's at the same time. But your first step is understand that you have to leave a certain place in your life, a place of blame, a place of denial, a place of admitting, oh, wow, I do have a temper issue. I do have a procrastinating issue. I have some women who say, no, I don't put anything. I don't delay things. So I say, yeah, but I understand that on Tuesday, you still have your Shabbos dishes in the sink. Well, it's not my fault because if I would have, and if I could have, and if he would help, and if he would this, I'm not pushing it off. I meant to do it. I mean to do it, but I cannot get to do it, which is all true. But at the end of the day, you didn't get the things done. Did you find help how to do it besides your husband or whatever it is? There is the process of Asur Meira is not only the physical steps, it's a mindset saying, I have to stop doing this. And at the same time, how could I stop? Like now, I'm working with a lot of women who are stressed, and nobody's at fault here except the Iranians, right? It's true. And very hard. And I say, true, we have that. Admit it. Don't say, I'm not nervous, it's just the kids. I'm not crazy, it's just the lack of sleep, right? It's true. But we still have to be patient. We still have to, I work on it constantly. I had here my grandchildren, today's a quiet day in my clean, nice house, but these are kids that, haven't been in a misgeret, and they came to Savta's house, and I have to understand them and say, Esther, put aside your OCD or whatever I want to call it. It's not, but and understand them. Don't blame them. Leave that. Leave your perfect towels that are standing straight. Leave that. It's not going to be. But if I can't admit that, I won't be able to also lasot tov, to be good to them, okay, and stuff like that. So let's go back. The Kervano Lifnei Har Sinai. Hashem brought us close to Har Sinai, to understanding that all that we have to, our focus is Hashem, to our mitzvahs. But if the material world, we are so absorbed in it, yes, we have to work. But how much does it take up our mind? We have to work with the outside world. But is that taking up our mind completely, that there's no room for Hashem and Torah mitzvahs? Let's go to the next step, if the computer will let me. Okay. We should not think that the process, the step of bringing us closer to Har Sinai is a secondary matter, and that the main thing is simply to study Torah. The Rebbe is also talking to people who sit and study Torah the whole time and don't see their surroundings, okay? That is why the Haggadah emphasizes, he brought us close before Har Sinai, and that would have been enough. This means that special praise and thanks must be given to God specifically for bringing us close to Har Sinai, using the name Har Sinai and bringing us close to it. This clarifies to us that this is an essential matter. It's like when I remember sitting with a man and he was in a great mood. And I asked him, what are you so excited about? He says, I was just diagnosed as ADD. So I said, so what's the excitement? He says, I never knew why I was so crazy and why I was all over the place. Now I have the diagnosis. I could take care of myself. So this is what Hashem did. He brought us to Har Sinai and said, this is the material world. You have to learn to deal with it, but admit it. It's pulling you away. I have women who are on their phone and they don't realize it. And then I say, look at yourself. Take pictures of yourself. Put down how many hours. Admit it. You're addicted to the phone. And then you'll be relieved and then realize that where your day goes. Hashem brought us to Har Sinai and said, yes, I want to give you to the Torah, but this process of hatred, it's a very strong word, but you should have in Hebrew, slida. How do you say slida in Hebrew? I don't remember. A despise to the material world has to be within you, because otherwise the material world would take over. Did I lose the space? Or did I? Oh boy, I don't remember what page we were on. What page is this? Did this? Okay. Sorry, my computer is not behaving today. Okay. So this is the first thing. He brought us that the process is something for itself. The understanding is something for itself. And that's why it got a separate line in Dayenu. Okay? I'm really sorry. This is not working well. Okay. Then the Rebbe brings another thing. Let me try to get to the next page. And maybe it'll work better. Then the Rebbe brings another thing. All right, did we read this? Therefore, the Haggadah first says, had he brought us close to Mount Sinai, not giving us the Torah, it would be enough for us. This teaches us that bringing us close before Mount Sinai is itself something for which we give thanks for. Hashem made us aware of what we're going into. We're going into a material world. We have to develop a loathing towards it in order to learn Torah. And we thank Hashem for this awareness. Thanking Hashem for this awareness and for this process and making us realize it, because some people don't, from this is clear that even Hashem giving us the Torah and the state that he brought us close to Sinai, even to continue to exist, is an eternal idea. And I want to bring it now for today, what we're going through, and then go into the next idea. We are going through a war, and it's difficult. But if we live, and we could go into a panic and anger, and I spoke to a woman, she's angry at Bibi, and she's angry at the world, and she's angry, and then she thinks there's a conspiracy, and she thinks it's a whole thing for Netanyahu and for people to make money, and there's a lot of conspiracies and everything. Everybody's to blame. And I said to her, you have to make a switch. This is the war for Geula. This is the war for Mashiach. Like we say in the Dayenu, at the end, Bana Beis HaPchira, Hashem took us through all this process of bringing us close to Har Sinai, and everything else is to bring us to Eretz Yisrael and to build the Beis HaMikdash. That guy that wrote about Chabad, in a way, was 100% right. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build the Beis HaMikdash on Al-Aqsa. Yes, definitely. This definitely is our goal. So what are we going through? We have to take the process that we're going through now and use it correctly. Use it correctly. It's, like when I teach Kalas, I always bring Taras Mishpacha in because this is what I do mostly. Teach Taras Mishpacha. I tell them there is a nida period. We learned one of the Haftaras that Hashem calls Am Yisrael when they go into the Galus a nida period. Then use the Galus correctly and it'll come to the Geula. But if you just say, you know what, I have to pass through these 14 days of my menstrual cycle and then we'll be together, you're wasting 14 days a month, 12 days a month. I say 14, but it's 12 days a month, 5 and 7. 12 days a month is what? It's for nothing? It's for naught? No, it's to develop the longing, to develop a relationship of communication, of different things. The process that we're in now is to open up our eyes. It's a time for itself. It's a space for itself. Not to look at the hardships, that bombs are falling and kids aren't in school and we have no parnasa because the store, nobody's buying jewelry at this time or whatever it is. Everybody has their own thing. Or my kids aren't coming, like I started, and it's hard. No, Hashem said, use it for Tel Aviv. I looked at it in the Igros. This is a time to concentrate on other things. Use this time for bringing the Geula. But if we're going to sit and mourn and say how tired we are and how terrible the Iranians and reading the media and another thing and another thing and another WhatsApp that gives another joke and another thing and another story and conspiracy and rumor and this and that, we're not using the time correctly. The Kirvanu Lifnei Hasina, Hashem is saying, I'm taking you through a process to realize, and then you could get to the Torah. And we're thanking Hashem for this process. We have to open up now our siddur and say, Mizmar l'todah. Hashem, you opened up my eyes to my neighbors, to my daughters-in-law who are struggling with running down with kids. Thanking Hashem and saying, how could I help? How could I help? What can I do? How could I bring the Geula closer? Should I daven more? I'm now working maybe less. Am I using the time to scroll on the phone and to see more videos of fell there, this and that, this friend sending one thing and this one sending another thing? Or am I using it to call up 100 more people of how are you doing today? That phone call brings the Geula because somebody thought about her. This is the Kervanu Lifnei Harsina, that God, like he says, it exists for itself, gets a thanks for itself, gets a dayenu for itself. And this is even greater than the Torah itself, because that's the Torah. So Kervanu Lifnei Harsinai comes before V'nosan Lanu as HaTorah. And Kervanu Lifnei Harsin is Dayenu. This is what I thought this morning. I got up and I said, I can't believe I have to now fill up this house and start making Pesach. What was this? And this whole year, I was just working on a project. And I'm thinking, okay, what did I learn from this whole year's preparation for a project? I don't have an answer for you yet. I learned there's a lot of places, in Eretz Yisrael, and there's a lot of things. But what did I learn in it from a way to make me a better person, bring me closer to Hashem? Of course, now I realize how Hashem runs the world. I thought I found the perfect time. Nobody's due. Everybody's due the day after Pesach or 3 days after Pesach. And I thought I found the best time. The boys are bein hazmanim. Nobody's going out of yeshiva, and everything else. Everybody's on vacation. My husband doesn't work Chol Hamoed. Nobody works on Chol Hamoed. Everybody, I thought I had it down pat to the T. And then it taught me Hashem runs the world. Hashem runs the world. I chose a place in the north. Why didn't I choose a place in Gush Etzion that I found it right now? Whatever. I don't know, I have to learn 100 things because it's a full year, so there should be a lot of learning for me that I have to figure out to bring me to a better place. That when we will meet, I'll be a better person with better ideas, maybe. Better welcome bags that I prepared. You have to understand, I prepared welcome bags, kairos, a whole bunch of things through the year collected. And my house is like majorly full for a different type of project, whatever. I'm just saying.
Esther, let's make a big party. We'll all come and get a welcome bag and have a big Pesach party.
You'll all have to change your names to like a million Chayamushkas. Shimonit, I'll be more than happy. There's a lot of shampoo, conditioners. Everybody wrote which ones they wanted. Pesach toothpaste and Pesach toothbrushes. Towels and linen. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. There's the Pesach Materna for 2 babies that need. Shimona, that's a great idea. We'll do that maybe for Shavuot together, our group. We should meet face to face. Maybe we should go together to Keva Rachel or something. Anyway, so this is what he's telling us. That's lesson number 1 of Kirvanu Lifnei Sinai. That when we go through a process, to tell Hashem thank you, and to say this process is to bring me to Matan Torah. It's a thing for itself. Then the Rebbe takes us to another lesson. Another beautiful lesson. What happened when we came to Har Sinai? Okay, this we learned. What happened when we came to Har Sinai? It says, Vayicha nisham Yisrael ki'ish echad belev echad. We came to Har Sinai on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. We got the Torah on Vav Sivan. We had there 6 days, like I had the year, 6 days. So the Rebbe is telling us that, this is one sicha, if anybody wants to study it. This is the second one. We had ultimate Jewish unity. Har Sinai brought us to the ultimate Avas Yisrael and unity. This is the second lesson. And for this, we have to thank Hashem. Yesterday, in one of the million videos that I got, so I opened up one, I think. It shows that's because it said, what a beautiful Avat Yisrael. Maybe it wasn't a video. I don't usually open up things that I get on WhatsApp. I'm really sorry for those that send me. This was actually in the news. It said, and the reason I opened it up, it says, what beautiful Avat Yisrael. It showed a religious man standing on the road during a siren, stopping the cars and pointing to them where there's a miklat. And whoever took that film said, look at this man sacrificing his life to guide people. And you saw cars stopping and people going out and running. And he was standing in the road in that during the siren to tell people where, you could. Yesterday I was on the road and I'm thinking, I really should have marked down the whole way to know where there is a miklat, even though I would probably just flop on the floor or whatever. But this was true Avas Yisrael. So this is what the Rebbe is bringing, the second point of why do we say Dayenu after he brought us to Har Sinai. We say in the Haggadah, had he brought us close before Har Sinai and not given us the Torah, it would have been enough for us. It is therefore clear that the very fact that if he brought us close to before Har Sinai, even without giving us the Torah, was considered so lofty and important. Moreover, its importance and greatness are placed on the same level as the other matters listed in the passage, such as he has given us the Torah and not brought us to Eretz Yisrael, it would have been enough. Just as giving us the Torah is the biggest, is the highest significance, so too he brought us before Har Sinai. The elevation of being brought near to Har Sinai is comparable in importance to the elevation of giving the Torah. It's mind-boggling. We sing it for years, and we we didn't compare one to the other. How could you compare? And the Rebbe says the explanation is that the greatness of He brought us close before Har Sinai lies in the value of unity. As noted, on the first day of the month of Sivan, when they came to Har Sinai, to the Sinai desert, and encamped before the mountain, as it's written in the Torah, he's quoting here the Psukim of the Torah uses the singular form of encamped, Vayichan Sham Yisrael. And Rashi says, Hi'ish echad belev echad. We came there as one person that is also whole. Okay, an alert.
I have an alert.
Yes. Whole with himself. His mind and heart are in one place. I'll just finish this. The practical lesson and instruction is straightforward. We should all take upon ourselves good resolutions in connection with the happenings of the first day of Sivan.
We have a
Okay, so go down.
You got Haftara, Esther?
Yes.
Yeah, we did also.
Yeah, let me take a second. I have it right.
Esther,
right
do you know there's an app that will tell you where all the miklatim are?
I know that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, El Kalaya. So the Rebbe is talking about that the 6 days that we stood there and that unity was elevated beyond getting of the Torah. So we should look at the process of us running down now to the mikvah. It's great as getting the Gula Mitzvah Shlema, and is the way to bring. We must first exercise the principle of love and unity amongst the Jewish people. Okay, everybody. Good luck. I'm not running yet to live. I only run when there is this.
Keep safe.
Yes, I thought
Thank
it was
you
a
very
much,
Esther. Be
of
safe,
unity
everyone.
and very apropos for our time to use the time right, not to complain, and to see what we could do better to bring Mashiach. We are definitely in a historical time, in a time of the war to bring Mashiach Tzidkenu B'Karav Mamish.
Historical.
Amen.
Hysterically laughing. We laugh hysterically also. We don't have to just cry hysterically. We laugh hysterically. Yes. Oh, Hashem. Everything in a positive way.
We had a Chatuna on one day in Kfar Chabad.
Right.
Hashem, two Zakot.
Wow.
There were three Chatunas in the same place. Everyone in the miklat together.
3 Polis and 3 Chasanim in the miklat?
Well, I don't know, but the guests all were.
Okay, so you were surrounded by people besimcha.
Yes,
the
exactly.
energy must have been unbelievable. All balei simcha. It's like just simcha. That's like, wow.
נכון. טוב, בשורות טובות. תודה רבה, אסתר.
Lots of it. Everybody take care. Not clear enough. We have to work.